Having the right portfolio is one of the major things that is going to contribute to you getting hired as a virtual assistant or freelancer. If you have the wrong portfolio, then it doesn't matter how many proposals you sent and how many people you contacted, how many potential clients you contacted, you are not going to get hired. So in order to get hired as a virtual assistant or freelancer, you must have the right portfolio. And in this video, I'm going to review some of the portfolios that you submitted. And I'm going to give you actionable advice and tips on how to improve your portfolio and increase your chances of getting hired as a virtual assistant or freelancer. I'm going to start with reviewing the first 5 submissions. The first 5 people who submit their portfolio, I'm going to start by reviewing their portfolios. When I finish with the first 5 people, then I'm going to choose a random person around the people who submit their portfolios, and I'm going to review 5 more and provide actionable advice and tips to improve your portfolios. And even if I did not review your personal portfolio in this video, the other portfolios that I'm going to review in this video are going to help you know what you should improve in your own portfolio. So without any delay, let's start with the first person who submits their portfolio. Okay, right here we can see we have 41 responses. 41 people submit their portfolios. And if we scroll here, we can see the first one is myself. I tested the form, so I'm the first one. When I go to the second person, it's going to be Sharon. So we are going to review Sharon. I'm sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. We are going to start with reviewing Sharon's portfolio. But before we even open the portfolio, Sharon said she is offering administrative assistance, customer service, and data visualization. Okay, now let's open the portfolio and we can see how the portfolio looks. This is the first time I'm offering this portfolio, so we are going to see it together. Okay, so this is a PDF portfolio that was created in Canva. Okay, this first page is what everyone is going to see when they visit your portfolio. So we need to give them a reason to move forward. You see, this is your name. You write your name here, virtual assistant, and creative portfolio, and your picture. These are the elements that you should have on the first page. The only thing is this creative portfolio. I don't know why we have it here. We probably don't need to have this creative portfolio here. What I will suggest you do is right here, you replace this creative portfolio with virtual assistant. Then instead of writing virtual assistant here, you can add the services that you are offering. For example, you said you are offering administrative assistant, customer service, and data visualization. You can write this exact thing that you are offering, this exact services that you are offering. You can write it here instead of virtual assistant, and you can write virtual assistant at the top here, because anyone who is viewing this portfolio, they already know you are a virtual assistant. So what they will be more interested in knowing next is what you offer as a virtual assistant. The changes that I suggest you make is first, you replace this creative portfolio with virtual assistant. You have your name right here, and below your name, where you write virtual assistant, you can move it off a little bit. You can write the services you are offering, but instead of simply writing the services you are offering, you can even make it better and make it like a short description. Let me use ChatGPT quickly and we can see how we can do that. Okay, let me copy the services you are offering. Okay, I said, can you make this into a short description? And I added the services that you are offering, and you can see what ChatGPT provide. ChatGPT said, providing administrative assistance, customer service, and data visualization to support efficient business operations and decision making. You see, this will be a lot better to be here than just virtual assistant. And when someone reads this short description, they have a reason to move forward. If they are looking for someone to do administrative assistance, customer service, or something related to data visualization, they have a reason to see the next page. So these are the changes that you should make here. And right here, your picture looks nice, but I suggest you move it down a little so that your face is entirely in the frame. Next, let's see what we have. Okay, first, this text is not very readable. This text is too thin and white. It blends in with the background. It's a little hard to read. So that is the first thing I have. And it really, the page entirely, this page doesn't add any value. It doesn't add any value to your portfolio. So I will suggest you simply get rid of it, except if you can write some nice description or something very nice and attractive that will give people reason to want to see more. And let's see what we have next. Okay, first let me quickly run this description through Grammarly, and we can see if we have any grammar error. Okay, we paste the description here, Control B. Okay, so you can see instead of saying basic tools used in increasing efficiency, it will be more grammatically correct to say used to increase efficiency. So this is a change that you should make. This is something I say over and over to virtual assistants and freelancers. You should have no grammatical error anywhere on your portfolio. And this really is good because we only have one error. So you can simply quickly fix this error and you will be good to go. Okay, the next thing I can say is design related. There is a little too much white space between the image and the text. So I suggest you, since you are using Canva, you can simply drag the box where this text is located. You drag it a little more so that the text will come to like this section right here. It will look a little more natural and you will have more space between the text, because right here there is not enough space between this heading and the text, and there is too much space between this image and this text. On this page you simply need to fix one grammar error here, maybe increase the size of this text and drag it a little more so that there is not too much white space between the image and the text. That is all I believe you need to change on this page. And what we have next, okay, this next page right here, you said tools. The first thing is the page is not very readable. This where you write tools, it look almost like one of the images here. So the first thing I will suggest you do is you add some space between this heading and the images so that the text will be more readable. And instead of writing only tools, you can write something like the tools I work with, or the tools I excelled in, or the tools I am proficient with. Okay, this next page looks fine. The only thing I will suggest is you add a percentage in this progress bar, similar to this page right here in Canva. You see right here, graphic designer, there is a bar that you can increase or decrease the percentage. I suggest you add a percentage bar like this instead of adding a simple single bar like this. It will be more readable and more easier to understand. And since you make this in Canva, it will be easy to find a template. This is a template. You can simply search through the Canva template and find one with this kind of bar, and you can copy it and add it to your template. So it will be easy to fix this. And this username is not very readable, but we don't really need it that much, so you can leave it like this, or you can make it bold, add some shadows, or even add a background to it so that it is more readable. Because right here it's not readable, but since it's your name, we already know your name, it's not that important, so we can leave it like this. And we can move to the next page. Soft skills. Okay, this is the same thing that the same thing I suggest here is the same thing I will suggest here, because it's almost like the same page. You just make this bar with a percentage. Consider swapping these images. Instead of having the same images, you have different images here. Right here we talk about skills, personal skills. So it might be better to add something relevant to personal skills. Since the first thing is data entry and organization, a picture relevant to Excel might even be better, or a picture of Google Workspace might even be more suitable than a picture of a person. And soft skills, growth mindset, confidential, adaptability. You can find an image also that reflects soft skills and replace it here, because a picture of another person on your portfolio, I don't really like a picture of another person on your portfolio except if it's a graphic design portfolio and the picture is part of your design. Apart from that, it's better to replace this picture of a person with a picture that reflects what is on the page. we are talking about soft skills, so find a picture that is relevant to soft skills and we can replace it. Okay, the next one, educational background. Okay, this looks good. The only thing I will suggest is this dot, it represents progress. So you have 3 dots. It means you have 3 progress on this page. Since you have 2 progress, it will be better to remove this dot right here. And the next thing I will suggest is the same thing. You have BSc Mass Communication here. You can write SSCE certification here. Whatever you have, you can write the description right here. Okay, achievement. Okay, this looks great. It's great that you have achievement to show. But the better way I believe to put this is to have it in a written format, because then you will be able to write where you achieved this, the year you achieved this, and a short description of the achievement, similar to what you have here. Right here is ALX certification. You can write the year you achieved this achievement, and you can write ALX, the name of the program, and you can write a description of what you achieved. You have how many certifications? 4 certifications. You can list them either in a listicle format, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can have them like in a progress bar like this. You can have 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. I believe it will be more readable and it will be more effective, because an image like this, people will have to zoom in and read what is on the image. Most people will not do that. So it is better if you put it in a way that people will easily read and understand what it is. So this is the only suggestion I have here. Instead of having images, you shall have it in a written format with the name of where you have the achievement, the year you achieved the certification, and the description of the achievement. Okay, work experience. Okay, the first thing is this image also. It looks like this image was generated by AI, because you can see the face of the lady is all wafted. So I suggest you remove this image and replace it with an image relevant to work experience. You can replace it with only an image of a computer screen, or an image of a Google Workspace, Gmail, calendar, whatever that is relevant to what you are doing. I believe it will be better and more effective than having a picture of another person. And even so, this picture was generated by AI. The face of the lady looks very funny. So this is the only change that I suggest you make on this page. Portfolio. Your portfolio looks great. Calendar and scheduling management, and you have a screenshot of a calendar. This is great, and this screenshot that you have reflects a complex calendar management. So this really is great portfolio that you have. The only thing I will suggest is you can run this through Grammarly and make sure there is no any grammatical error. The description is really nice also. Anyone who is viewing this is a sample of a great data entry and scheduling calendar management portfolio. You have a nice screenshot that shows a complex calendar management and a very nice description of what you did. This is a very nice portfolio image. Okay. Inbox management, same thing here. Looks great, amazing, good job. Let's work together. Okay, this last page also looks good. The only thing I will suggest is you can write a short description to invite people to interview. You can write something like, if you are interested, send me an email and we can book a quick 20-minute or 15-minute Zoom call to go over your business and decide if I am the right fit for your project or if I am the right fit for the job. You should have a text that will invite them to interview at the last page. That is the last change that I will suggest you have on this page. Okay, so overall, you have a great portfolio. You have great portfolio items, great work samples. You can simply make the changes I suggest in this portfolio, and your portfolio will be the best for complete beginners to find client. And I believe anyone who is looking for a calendar management virtual assistant or email management virtual assistant will be interested to know more, which is what we are looking for. The portfolio's job is to invite potential client to send you a message. And I believe if we make these changes, your portfolio will be on the right track. Okay, now let's see who submits the second portfolio and we can move forward. Okay, the second person is Aminat, and this is an Upwork portfolio. So let's open it. Okay, the feedback I have for you right here is, first, have one profile per service. If you are offering virtual assistants, you have general virtual assistant profile, it is right here. And your main focus is virtual assistant, so your all work profile is going to be virtual assistant. And if you want to offer social media marketing, then it should be a separate specialized profile. And each profile should have a description that is targeted toward that specific service. If you are offering social media marketing, you create a social media marketing profile, and all your description should be toward social media marketing, and you should have some work samples. Because right here, when I scroll, I can see you have a portfolio item. Okay, it looks like I cannot open until I am logged in, but that is really all the feedback I can give you right now. Create a different profile for each specialized service. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next one is offering administrative and executive virtual assistant. So let's open the portfolio. Okay, so this is Canva website. The first thing is you have a nice picture. That is good. But the first thing I should remind you is the first page of your portfolio should include something that will give the viewer a reason to move on. First, you have this virtual assistant text. It should be a little smaller. You see the text is way too close to your image. You should have some white space. The text should be aligned with this box here. You see from your picture to this box, there is some white space. So you should have the same white space with any other element that is on this side. And it's easy to make changes to text in Canva. You can simply drag and adjust. For example, if it is here, you click, you simply drag. You can simply drag and adjust the size. So that is the first thing you should do. You should reduce this size so that it is not too close to the picture and it aligns with this other box right here. And the next thing is where you have this presented by. Presented by is really doesn't serve any purpose. So you can simply remove this presented by and you move your name to the center. And the next thing you should do is you shall add a short description below the virtual assistant. You are offering administrative and executive assistant. You can do the same thing I did with the previous profile. You can copy it and come to Canva and use the same prompt. Can you make this into a short description? And you can write it, or you can even be creative and use a different prompt. And you can have a nice description, something like this, that you can add below virtual assistant. Something that will be short description and very relevant to what you are offering. Very relevant to the services you are offering. Okay, let's move forward. This table of content looks nice, but it doesn't really serve any purpose. You can leave it and you can even get rid of it, because how many pages are your portfolio? It's not like 20 pages, so we don't really need this page. But if you like it, you can leave it, but it doesn't serve any purpose. So let's see what we have next. Okay, this text is way too big. It shall not be bigger than this image right here, because it will be more visually appealing. You shall reduce the size of this text so that it is around the same size as this image, or even less. But from the top to this side, it is way too big. You shall make it like 3 lines. If it is 3 lines and you move it to the center, it will align with the image and it will look more professional. And you can say something like, hello, I am. Instead of my name is, you can just say, hello, I am, and then you have your name. That will make it short and it will convey the meaning. It will serve the purpose. Okay, the next thing is your about information. Okay, I cannot copy it and paste in Grammarly, but that is the next thing you should do. Make sure you copy your text and run it through Grammarly, and make sure there are no any grammar error. Okay. Educational background. I think this really isn't as readable as it should be. Let me see if I can show you an example of a better educational background. Yes, right here. You see how this is set off? Senior versatile school and a short description similar to the first portfolio that I reviewed. You shall have it more detailed and descriptive like this. You can have your date. Let me duplicate this. You can have the date you completed and the name of the institution and what you completed in the institution. And you have 3, right? You have 3 educational history, so you can copy and duplicate and have 3, but make it descriptive like this. The way the text look, ALX, and there should be space, ALX, there should be space between the ALX and virtual assistant program. Okay, the first thing is, and this text doesn't really look nice. You have social media and community manager, then crossroad, then transformation. It doesn't even look like one sentence. So what you can do is you can reduce the size of this heading so that it looks like a sentence, not different words. And if you reduce the size of this heading, then make sure you reduce the sizes of these headings also, so that the sizes are the same. Virtual assistant appointment setter, level life coach. I don't know if this is a name of a brand or there should be space between level and life, right? Virtual assistant, virtual momsy agency. Okay, this is what you should do. The first thing is to reduce these sizes so that this one looks like one sentence, not like 4 different lines. All right, and the description, it looks like the same description. You copied the same description and have it in all 3 different places. Even though you might have worked the same kind of project in all 3 different places, there has to be some changes. There has to be some changes on the type of project you work on. So it will look more natural and more real to have different description on each work that you completed. This picture doesn't really fit in. You are a virtual assistant and most of what you did is graphic design, and you have like JavaScript image. It doesn't really fit what you are doing. So you shall remove this picture and change it with something relevant to graphic design. Skills and expertise. Captions and hashtags is part of social media management. This is first. If you have social media management here, then you don't have to add captions and hashtags. And you see what I explained previously? You have captions and then you have and then you have hashtags. It doesn't even look like one sentence. It looks like 3 different sentences. When you have a problem like this, the 2 ways to fix it is you can either reduce the size or you can increase the box. Right here, if you want to let me find something that is in 2 like this. If you want to, you can either reduce the size by reducing the size from here, or you can drag it like this to make it fit into one sentence. That is what you should do in order to fix this. And since you already have social media management, you don't need this. And right here you said Canva and CapCut edit. Canva is major part of Canva is graphic design, and CapCut is video editing. So you can simply add Canva here and add CapCut here, or you can add CapCut and Canva here. But you can remove this caption and hashtags and have social media management, Canva graphic design, and CapCut video editing. The same thing here. Data entry and transcription are 2 different things. You do data entry with Microsoft Excel or Google Sheet, and transcription, you use software like Descript to transcribe audio or video to text. So these are different things. It shouldn't be data entry and transcription. Data entry should be data entry, and transcription should be transcription. Email management should be email management. Calendar management is calendar management. They are different things. Research and documentation. This can be the same thing, research and documentation. And data entry, you should swap this image. Instead of a calculator, you can have an image that will represent Excel. And transcription, you can have a text, something representing transcription. Same thing here, email management. This is a calendar, so it can be calendar management, but email management, this doesn't really look anything like email management. So the changes is, first you have data entry and transcription, which are two different things. You shall have each different thing stand alone. Data entry stand alone, transcription shall stand alone, email management shall stand alone. You can have multiple pages. You don't have to have all of it in one page. Okay, I assume this is a graphic that you made, but it's not full. The graphic is not full, I believe, because this quotation mark is almost at the top. So the first thing is, make sure you add the graphics complete entirely. And instead of having another graphic, I don't know what this is, but you shall have your best graphics. The best graphics you ever made are the ones you shall have here. You don't really need to add the social media community management sample, because that is not something attractive that you can add, and most people can do community management. So your focus shall be adding things that are attractive. So right here, you shall have graphics, especially since your portfolio items, your work, previous work are all graphic design related. You shall have your best graphics here. You can add four graphics that are the same size right here. It will be more appealing and it will serve a better purpose than what you have right here. Previous project, this looks like a testimonial, more like a testimonial than a previous project. I am a little confused here, and if I am a little confused, then your potential client are also going to be a little confused. So is this your portfolio items? Probably no. Is this a testimonial? Maybe, but you shall decide. Is this a testimonial? If it is a testimonial, then you shall have a testimonial. If it is work samples, you shall have work samples, but I am confused here. Previous project. Okay, first thing, this text is too close to this image. There should be some white space. And Calendly, invitation to interview, no, this is entirely not needed here, so you can get rid of it. You don't really need this also. So you shall have this Calendly graphic, and you shall have a description below this image that will describe what you did. You have previous project, you can even move it to the top. But even if you didn't move it to the top, add some space, and then you add a description below here, a full description of what you did with Calendly. Previous project, again, I believe these are graphics that you made. This looks much better than the ones you have on the other page. So, and you have previous project here, you have other previous project. It looks a little confusing. So you should have more clarity so that your potential client to know what they are looking for. This looks nice, really. And so what you have in the previous page, this is really not clear. I'm not sure what this is. And this is also previous project. This is a graphic you made. I'm not sure about this. So it's a little confusing, really. You need to make it more easy to understand so that your potential client know what they are looking for. Let's work together and create something great. This text is a little too big, so you shall have some space. You shall reduce the size a little and have some spaces at the top, at the bottom, and left and right. Didn't get a package you want? Click to book a call. I don't see any package. So again, a little more confused. I didn't see any package in the previous pages. So this is something you shall work on. Okay, so overall this portfolio, I think it needs a lot of work. So what you need to do is take a pen and paper if you need to, and rewatch all the pages I went through and take some notes and get to work on fixing your portfolio. Now let's see what we have next. Okay, this one is offering creative content strategy through design, video, and word content. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, this looks like a Wix website. Okay, this description is nice, it's inviting, and it's clear. The only thing, make sure you run it grammarly and there are no any grammar error. And this call to action, it should be something like get in touch, contact me, get started, something along these lines. But get ready with is a little confusing. You have your description about yourself, and it's a good opportunity to have your picture here on the right. Okay, this website content writer is the title of the work you did. It should be here at the top, and the name of the company you work on, it should be at the bottom. It shouldn't be in a straight line. You can even make this bold so that it stands out. Website content creator, Instagram manager, it should be bold. And you see you have all caps here, and right here you have only the first letter capitalized. It should be uniformed. Now, image gallery, it shall be my portfolio. Something like my portfolio or my previous work or my best work. Okay, great. It looks like you have a lot of past work, which is always very nice. Okay, you have testimonials. You shall have a title that will say my past client's testimonial or what my client have to say. Something like that. It will make it more readable. And then we have a contact form. Okay, what I have, the suggestions I have here is you shall have your face on your portfolio. You shall have your face, your smiling face on your portfolio. Fix this, get ready, and have a better call to action, like contact me or something like that. You have the about me and your picture on the right. Then right here you shall have about 3 of your best work sample. I know there are all your work samples here, but there are a lot here. You shall pick the top 3 and have them right here, so that before your potential client, before someone get bored of scrolling, they see your best work sample. And 3 is not overwhelming, so it will be easier for them to see 3. And if you add your best 3 work sample, 3 are enough to convince your potential client. Okay, so overall you have a good portfolio. The main thing is make sure you have your picture on your portfolio. It's very important. And have 3 of your best work samples at the top, so that your potential client have more reason to scroll through and see the rest of your work samples. Okay, now let's see the last one. Okay, this next one is Upwork profile. And the first thing, you have your picture. Your picture is very nice. You have your nice smiling face in focus in the center with no noise in the background. That is good. You have your name, Nathaniel, and you have your title, virtual assistant, administrative support, data entry specialist. There's nothing wrong with your title because they are all related: virtual assistant, administrative support, and data entry. So this is good. The only thing I will suggest is, I notice you don't have a specialized profile. You should have a specialized profile that you can have, like administrative virtual assistant or executive virtual assistant or data entry virtual assistant, that you should have at least one specialized profile. That's the first thing I will suggest. The next thing is your description. What I noticed is you have a lot of text in a bullet point format, communication, scheduling, Slack. There is a lot of things here that I am quite sure your potential client are not going to read. So the first thing I would suggest is you get rid of this bullet point. All this bullet point with tools and software that you use, you shall get rid of it. And especially since you have the option to add all of these skills and tools here. You see you have data entry, all of these skills, and you can add all the tools also. I see you only added skills. You can add all the software and tools on Upwork. So instead of adding them here in your description, you shall add them below the description under the skills and software that you work with. And what I will suggest you do, after you get rid of all these bullet points, you can copy the text you have, the description, and you can go to ChatGPT and use a prompt like make this text or make this description more readable. And ChatGPT is going to help you make it more readable. Your potential clients are only going to read 1 or 2 paragraphs of your description. So that is where you want to put all your effort in. So the feedback I have for you is, first, fix your description. Your description is not readable. And then create a specialized profile. You can create a specialized profile like executive virtual assistant, administrative virtual assistant, or administrative support or data entry virtual assistant, but you shall have a specialized profile and you shall fix your description. If you have more work samples, you can simply add them. That is what I can give you. That is the feedback I can give you based on what I can see on your Upwork profile. If you are not sure about creating Upwork profile, again, you can watch my Upwork tutorial, Upwork profile tutorial, and you can see anything that you are missing, and you will be able to fix and make your profile 100%. Okay, now I reviewed the top 5 submissions. I intended to review a few more, but I ran out of time, unfortunately, so I cannot do that. But maybe another time we can run a wheel and we can choose random people to review your portfolios. But for now, you can take note from the ones I reviewed, and I'm sure it can help you improve yours and make your portfolio better. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.